Good morning folks and welcome, and today, or this morning rather, I'm on the Akai CS33D 33D cassette deck from the 1970s. I've already taken this apart and I've got a bit of servicing on the mechanism to do because it doesn't rewind properly. Well, doesn't rewind at all basically. But I've already taken it apart because you don't need to see me do that. And you know, anybody can remove screws and pull a cassette deck apart. It's just 4 screws out of the bottom, and to get this top off here, another 6 screws. Pardon me. And the top just lifts off after you've pulled the knobs off and remove the cassette door trim. We just moved the top out of the way. Now the issue with this, I got this from the car boot sale. It was £1.50. I got 2 for £3. Now the issue with this is, first off, it doesn't rewind, not properly. So we'll turn it on. Yeah, very good. Don't do much for fucking anything. Yeah, before I started the camera it did. Well, the cassette deck. Oh, I know what I know what I've done. I know what it is. Let's turn the soldering iron on. Right. Yeah, what it basically is, I've actually the wires come off the motor, because I had to strip the motor down on this and just get me pliers. I had to strip the motor down on this because the motor wasn't working properly, but now it is. I had to strip it down, lubricate it. I'll show you how I do that one day, but I've had the camera full of footage from me and Steve's, mine and Steve's video yesterday when we were doing Sean's radio. And I've just, as you all know, that video's gone up, and so the footage is no longer needed. But basically what the problem is with this is it doesn't rewind. While I'm getting to that, I could actually be taking bits off. So what we need to do, make sure that we're switched off at the plug. We are. Get our screwdriver. And all we need to do is just remove 2 screws here. Holy hell. There we go. Two screws here. That's it. One screw. We need a different driver for the other screw. Make sure everything metal is out of the way. And what we'll do now, we'll take the 1 screw out of the side. Well, actually it's 2 screws out the side, but I've already removed 1, and there's 2 screws that go in the side here. I've already removed 1. And what we'll do now, we'll lift this piece of metal out along with the cassette housing. Take that out and just put that to one side. Move any metal objects because we've got a circuit board under here. and yeah, there's nothing under there, we're alright. There's a bit of solder, just shift that. Right, and basically what I'm going to do now, I'm going to turn it back on. Oh, hang on, no I'm not, I'm going to solder that wire back on. The iron should be hot enough now. And remember, I can't say enough about this, always make sure that your iron is hot and clean. There we go. I'm going to need to hold that with something. Let's get me pliers. I can hold that wire with my pliers. It's very thin. There we are. That's the motor soldered back together. Now fire it up. So your rewind is not so the fault could actually be under the other side of the mech. Let's have a look at fast forward. That side's okay. Could do with roughening up a bit, but that side yes, that's okay. So what we'll do is see if we've got a tight spot somewhere. See, we've got something that shouldn't be. That feels a bit tight. Mind you saying that. What I'll do, I'm going to drop a bit of lubricant if I can find it. Drop a bit of lubricant. There it is, it's up there. There we go. Let's just check, see if the tables. Yeah, they're just. Yeah, I think they're okay. So we'll lubricate that. Only one drop. And that. Only one drop, as I say. Just get something that you don't need to just mop up the excess, because I went a bit over on that one. Now let's turn it back on. We'll do fast forward first, and we also need to find a piece of sandpaper. There is some somewhere, so we can just clean. I did have a piece last night, but last night was a different matter. I need it now. Don't know where the fuck I put it. Let's have a look in my drawer. Oh, there it is. Right. So there we go. Hold that on there. getting there. Just have to get it so it will grip. Just takes the surface off. That feels a bit stiff. That's better. So we'll find out where that linkage is and we'll clean that as well. The problem is actually getting that to turn. Actually, I might be able to do better in play mode, but I prefer fast forward. See, that's even a bit sluggish. Fuck that. Right. Rewind's working better now. Look at that. Yeah, that's good. That stops the whole mechanism. So let's pop a tape in it and see if it rewinds. Hold it centre. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that we don't even have to hold it centre. That rewinds well. Try fast forward. Yeah. Play. Yeah. Playback is good. Only one of the meters is moving because there's a... I'm not sure what the problem is. But one of the meters is not working properly and I don't understand why. I think it's damaged. Yeah. See what I can do with that. Failing that, I'll have a look in my box. See if I've got another couple of meters because I want them to match. But if it doesn't, I'll just take the card out of this meter and put it into another meter. That's not a problem. So I'll have a look through my box and see if I've got a meter to replace. Yeah. No audio on it yet because it's not connected to an amplifier, but the mechanism, I've just... Yeah, I could do with getting that fast forward. I'd like it a bit tighter than what it is. That's a bit better. That mechanism there now, that's nice that now. That's flying back as it should. And they're all lubricated now. give that one there a little clean. Yeah. That's not slipping now, that. I know there's a slight noise there. But what I'll do next, I will find something to clean it all. Oh, that's good. That's great. Play. There was never any issue with the play. Yeah, that take up, that's got plenty of take up. The belts in this machine are good. Plenty on that fast forward now. So the squeak must it's either coming from here or here. Well, that's just told us, hasn't it? So what we'll do, yeah, are we all set for Goulburn on Sunday? Yeah, should be a good day, hopefully. Let's pull that off. Yeah, there's crap on there. Let's give it a wipe. There we go, that's got it. Get the sewing machine oil. Put a drop on the top. There we are. And I will do the other table as well. There we are. It has got another fault, this machine. I'll get into that when I've done the mechanism. Yeah. There we go. Put on rewind. Perfect. So since that table was a bit noisy, I don't really like to, what I'm going to do, I'm not going to take the table off because it's a bastard to feed that counter belt through. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave the table on this side and just pull off and just put one drop of oil on the top of the, there we are. I think we might need more than a drop. There we go. Just needed the drop knocking off. There we go. Put it on rewind. There we go. Now let's get the IPA. And I've got no cotton buds left. I'm going to have to purchase some cotton buds because I've got none left. I've got none of these makeup pads either. Well, I have, but I can't find them. That's about the fucking cleanest one I've got. So I'm going to use that to clean the pinch roller and the capstan. And then I'll give all the buttons a clean. I'm not taking these out to clean them. I can't be fucking arsed. I'm going to just clean them in situ. And that's basically what's going to happen. So we'll press play. I've already cleaned the head, but I will clean it again. So why is the pinch roller not fucking... Oh, it's fast forward, that's why. Brain fart alert, folks. Brain fart alert. The nice thing about this Akai is you can actually get to the speed adjuster on the motor to adjust the speed and bring it back in if you need to. I'm holding that against there to get more pressure. There we are. That's all clean now. That'll do. Make sure it's not hard. Oh no, that's lovely. And just to be certain, I will I'll go over with the sandpaper if I can ever get it to stay on it. Give the capstan a... There we go. We don't want to do too much on the capstan. We don't want to take the nickel coating off it. Just a matter of hold that there for a minute. Yeah, I'd say that's okay. I'm as happy as a pig in shit with that. I'm going to put new foam around the meters because the foam's missing, it's gone, so it's got to be replaced. Clean the buttons. That's good. That's good. Yeah. Oh, really happy with that. Let's give it all a quick once over with the... It saves you wasting this IPA, doesn't it? There we go. Clean all the crap off the... I mean, no matter how much you clean the crap off the rubbers and the other bits of linkage, no sooner you've done it, it's there again. That'll slip for a minute because I've just cleaned it. Oh, get off. That's the washer from the bottom, that's not supposed to come up. There we are. And that'll slip for a second. Oh, let's move that fucking oil. That'll slip. I almost forgot. Almost forgot the take up idler. That rewind's spot on now. And what I'll do, I'll also let that run and I'll just mop the oil that doesn't need in the centre there. And we'll do that one as well, because whatever was needed has run down into there now. Yep. I'm happy with that. Yeah. plenty of get up and go in that. The tape heads were cleaned and aligned earlier. To align the tape heads on the Akai, you adjust the left hand adjuster on the tape heads to set the azimuth. You adjust this one, and on most of them it's this one, but on the Akai, on this particular mechanism, it's this one. Clean that bit of dust off that spring. That actually looked like rust on that spring, but it's not. It's got a plastic sleeving over it. Right. So I'm happy with the top side of it. Let's put a cassette in it. And just check all the winds. Rewind. Fast forward. Playback. Yep. I'm happy with that. Now putting this back together. Is reversal of the disassembly process. We should have a spring in there as well, right? Along with a metal piece, all the metal brackets here. Oh no, that spring's there, it's still on it. Right. So what we need to do next is oh, hang on a minute. We've had oil run down there. Let's give that a clean. Just spotted it. Right. Let's just turn this back on for a minute. Make sure that we get all the any trace of the oil off it. There we go. That's good enough. Right. Now, what we'll do, we'll put the cassette door back on, or cassette housing rather. Put the cassette housing back on. Make sure I don't drop that spring into the darkest recesses of the mechanism. Jesus, let's get hold of that. Put that one through there. Oh, you cunt. Fucker. So we've done a lot of work on this cassette deck, and it's, I mean, to be perfectly honest, it was a bargain for £3. Sorry, for £1.50. Because the other one I got was a Decker. The other one's a Decker, and that apparently appears to work. I've plugged it in. I'll own up, I have plugged it in. You know, but it's a Decker and it's quite good. Let's put the one in the side first, that might be the easiest bet. And I hope I don't drop it. Way. Put the one in the side, that makes it a lot fucking easier. That's it. Now we need a different screwdriver, because this screwdriver is a good magnetic one, and that. You don't want to swing on these and get them super tight. They only need to be just above snug. Snug or just above, that's all we want. That's all we're looking for. There's no competition in who can tighten a screw more tighter than anyone else. There we are. And there's the other little screw that goes in the side that I'd thought I'd lost, but I haven't. Because I always think I've lost one until they're all in. I mean, there probably has one or two. Well, actually, when I opened this machine, there was actually a screw sellotaped to the inside, which came off the motor, which made me think somebody's worked on the motor in the past. There we are. Now let's try it with a tape in and a long tape, something like a C90, if I've got one knocking about. We've got a tape here, I don't know what the fuck that says. That's a long one. It's longer than that Guy Mitchell one that was just in there, so. So what we'll do, we'll fast forward the tape to the end. The light here needs to be replaced, so I'll have a look, see if I've got any bulbs or anything to go in there. And the two lights for the VU meters need to be replaced. So I might have to revisit this again at some point. We'll just send the tape to the end and then we'll rewind it all the way back, and then we know we're satisfied with the mechanism. Because as you know, they can fucking rewind so far and then fucking stop about halfway. You know, they can lure you into a false sense of security when you think you've fixed it, and really you know, you just fucking, you haven't really. So it's always best to test it a couple of times. I'll test it once on camera and then I'll test it again off. So rewind. Because I want to keep it. I've got 4 of this style of tape deck, and I want to keep a couple of them for myself. This Akai, I want to keep that. I want to keep this one, and I've got 2 up there, and I've got a decker in the hallway. So I'm not sure what. I've got a Bush and a Ferguson, a Bush Arena and a Ferguson up there on the top of the bookcase, and I've got a decker in the hallway. So I'm not sure what I'm going to keep yet. I quite like the look of the decker, but anything's possible with me. You know, we don't know what I want to keep yet. But I want to keep at least 2 for my vintage hi-fi setup. It depends, you know, I was going to just say, it depends on whether I decide to go all British with my setup, but none of these mechanisms were made in Britain. They were all made in Japan. by Sanyo or Orion or, you know, whoever. So I'm not going to say, well, I'm going to keep one that's British, because none of them are truly British. You know, so I'm not going to keep it for that reason. I'm going to keep the two best quality ones, which, you know, this Akai obviously is probably the best one I've got out of all of them. I've got the controls on this to spray. Yeah, I've not done them yet. Record switches need to be sprayed. They always crackle, they always play up. But yeah, that's got all the way to the beginning. I'll tell you what though, what I've noticed on this Akai, there's no pause button on it, you know. They were a bit stingy in that department, didn't give you a pause button, so let's reset the counter, put the lid down and rewind from the very end again. And then I'll get to what the other fault is on this. There is another fault on it, believe it or not. And I mean apart from that meter, there is another fault on this machine. And I'll get to that after this is rewound, because I can put the top back on it soon. Well, at least the camera have cleaned all these buttons, they look yuck. I mean, that record button should be red and it's almost black, so they need a good scrubbing. But I'm not taking them out to do them because, quite frankly, I don't have to and I don't want to and I don't see the point. So they'll just get cleaned out on the machine. See, the auto stop on this machine doesn't work, and that's partly the problem. What it is, there's a diode gone on the board, and basically the motor won't go when you connect it to the correct place. So what I've done, I've just jerry-rigged it and moved the motor to another place before the regulator that regulates it, just so I could service the mechanism and get that part out of the way. The motor is supposed to be 6 volt, but it's got 12 volt going into it, and that's another reason why I've left the top off, because after I've repaired the fault on the board, I've got to readjust the speed here, because I adjusted that to make sure it worked. And as I'm keeping this machine, if I can't sort the fault out, then I'm not bothered, because I'm happy to use it as is. Won't do any harm, I don't think. And that's good. The mechanism's serviced, I'm happy with it. I haven't changed the belts, there's no need. Let's turn the plug off. Now we'll get to the meat and taters of it. The bit that you all like the most. Now, let's pull the plug out to be safe. And what we'll do, we'll actually start looking at voltages and stuff, and get the meter up here so we can all see the meter. Yeah, because you have to check for voltages. First rule, thou shalt check thy voltages. No good looking for faults if you're not going to look at your voltages. You need to know what's going in and where voltages should be. Very, very important. I mean, it's alright changing parts willy-nilly and fucking about, but in my opinion, nothing can be gained, nothing useful can be gained from doing that. So here at Vintage Electronics, we don't do that. We don't replace willy-nilly. We look for the fault. Now the fault is, I'll put my glasses back on and try and explain. The fault, we've got a voltage regulator here. The motor is supposed to connect here, and we've got a Zener diode here. Now, when I connect the Zener, when I put the Zener diode in, there's no voltage up here. So something's stifling the voltage, and it's probably a transistor down here. That's probably causing it, but the diode is faulty because it reads the same both ways round, so on the diode test, so we know that. So if I connect the meter to the ground point, let's put it on that lower ground point. I've got room to move my fucking hands about. No, I'll put it on the high one, I'll tell you why. Then I won't fucking, then I've got somewhere to rest my fucking arm here. Right, so if we get the plug and we turn that back on, turn the machine on. Now we've got 12 volts coming up here. At least we should have. Well, the motor's running. Does it have to be on? Wouldn't have thought so. Right, we're getting now. Let's turn that off now with that running. We're getting 9 volts under load from the motor. Now if I go to the diode, we're getting nothing there. So if I just turn it off a second and I disconnect the motor, there we are. Get rid of the motor. I can turn this on now. I don't understand why you need that to be on. I think you do, it goes through this brown wire here, and I think it's switched there, so it turns the regulator on. So if I switch the machine back on, there we are. 12 volts. Or at least it was. Yeah, 12.5. So we go this side. Got 3. And on here we should have 6 volts. We've only got 2. Now at the other end of this diode, we've got nothing. There we've got 2. Now there. Now there. Now there. Now there. Now there. Are we on? We are on, aren't we? Yeah. Point one there. Now there. So basically, this leg here, this pin here feeds the regulator, and that's your collector in the middle. And that's got to be your base, because this is your emitter. Now there, nothing there, but there again, that's probably coming from, that's nothing to do with it, that part. So basically we need to go down, nothing there, nothing there, but that's ground anyway, so you don't expect to find anything. Nothing there. Now there. Now there. So let's follow our diode, and we need to come down to this, which I think is a capacitor. But we're not going to get anything there anyway down here, because there's no diode in there. So I would have to put diode in there before we even think about getting anything. But we're only going to get 3 volts. So what we'll do, we'll turn it off, and I'll fish through my diodes. I'll have a look in the diodes, and these should be the diodes. Diode rectifiers, mixed plastic. I'm not sure if these are all rectifier. There's no Zenas in there, so that's the wrong one. These are the Zenas. Yep, Zener diodes, all voltages. So we need one. We need one at about 6 volts. There's one here at 5 volts, that'll do it. So what we'll do, if we can ever get that damn thing out, that's the one I want, that fucking blue one. Got a brand new one there, we'll use him. Yeah, there's a brand new one. So what we'll do, because some of these are second hand, a lot of them are, some of them are new, some of them are not. I mean, what we'll do, we'll now put that back there for a minute, and we'll test the new diode on the diode tester the same way we tested the old one and see what we get. Yep, 6.68 or whatever that was, and nothing on that side. Yet on the other diode we're getting a reading, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to just tack this one in, just clip the legs down on it obviously, and I'm going to just tack this one on, and right, let's put a bit of solder on it. Right, a bit of solder. My bench is a bit crowded at the moment. Still got Sean's radio on here, and I've also got a clock radio I want to get back to at some point as well. An Alba, not done anything with it yet. Now what we'll do, we'll solder this up here. Put a bit of solder on that. Now the ring on the diode goes towards the top. See, it might only be the diode that's faulty. If it is, it'll be a lot easier. There we are. If it's not, now let's bring this back down to voltage and see if we have any voltage where we expect to have some voltage. Untangle meter leads. Now fuck all. 4 volts there. Let's connect the motor back up to where the motor goes. Which is there. Yep. So let's check voltages with the motor running. We want to find 6 there. There's 4. But it is under load. Six volts there. Six there. We've got voltages on here now. Yeah. Now let's see if the auto stop works. I will fit that diode properly. My arse, I'm not taking all that out, it can stay on the back. It won't do any harm. The diode can, I'll secure it better than that and trim it down a bit, but it's staying on the back. I'm not pulling all that out just to change that diode. That will be a pain in the arse. So what we'll do now, we'll turn the plug back on and see if the auto stop works. Yes, the auto stop does work. There we go, folks. A simple diode was causing the problem. Now what we'll do, I'm probably going to have to do it off camera. I'm going to probably have to reset the speed because we've got less going into the motor, and that is this cassette deck. That is this cassette deck fixed. Just turn that on. Make sure it's got enough balls to pull the tail it was on. Fast forward. Rewind. Play. I'll tell you what, I'll do the speed on camera. Let's just turn the signal tracer on, turn that off for a moment and turn the plug off because I don't want to catch my hand on this switch on round here and out. So right, so what we'll do, what we need to do next is connect our signal tracer, sorry, to ground. I'll probably get a copyright hit, but I ain't fucking arsed, fuck 'em. Find my little screwdriver that I need to perform the adjustment. It should be on here, but as is always the way when you need something, it ain't. But is it under this? I can't see it being under this. No, it's not under that. It's not fell and rolled off onto the floor, has it? No. Is it under the meter? No. Well, we don't need the meter now anyway, so we can turn that off. So we can turn that off and dispense with that now. We don't need that. I'll just put it on top of Steve's signal generator for a minute. Where the fuck's that little screwdriver? I've got a tool here, but this won't fucking do it, I don't think. It might. Oh yeah, it will. It does fit. Right, so what we'll do next, we'll play in. So let's check the other channel. Oh. And all our ground's come off. Get on.
You know what, it's my with a hook and a holler and a dime and a dollar, I'm a must.
No, we've got the ground on here. Mind you though, the signal generators, the signal tracer's earthed. And the cassette deck has earth on it as well, so
I wander on my own and always take my own advice. I've traveled every trail and never been in jail, 'cause I deserved it once or twice.
let's rewind the tape. Right folks, that's the cassette deck repaired. Turn the signal tracer generator off, tracer off. I'll get it right one day. Right, that's the cassette deck repaired. I'm afraid it's you know, yeah. And I've not had to change any capacitors or nothing. No transistors. All I've had to do is just basically, it's just basic maintenance, and just replace that diode. And the straw's gone off my switch cleaner. But There it is. I was going to say I'm a man of many straws. Blow all the crap out the end of it if there's any there. No. They are the motor stops, which is what you want. So the auto stop is now working, and that's all that little regulator circuit does. Right. So what we'll do, we'll start with. One. Get a bit in the back of it as well. Now do this one. I don't think you get in the back of that. It flew straight through, I think, but we will. Now the two potentiometers here. Ooh, they'll be a bit graty for a while with that stuff going straight in, but they'll be alright once they're done. Right, now let's pull the plug out, see if I can get to the record switches without having to take the whole bloody thing apart. If I can't, then yeah, I can. There's only one. Oh, that's a bonus. There's only one record switch. So I nearly squirted it in my face. So what we'll do, we'll just... Yeah, there's only one. Yeah. There's only one. Can I get to the other end of it from here? No, I can't. No. Yeah, I think it'll have gone through anyway. So what I'll do now, I'll put it into record a couple of times. Hold that there with my finger. Would be nice if I could hold that there. There, yeah, I can now. Hold the stop down. Work that a couple of times. And that's that. Right, that is serviced. Take a lot of effort, that did it, folks. All I need to do now is get some cleaner, which I shall go and fetch, and I will clean the buttons, and I'm going to get myself a cup of coffee before I do anything else, and I'll be back for, well, there won't be a part 2 to this, it's going to be just a video. Be back soon, folks. Right, I've turned the camera back on, folks, because I want to have a look at this meter, and I want to see why. I think the spring's fucked in it because it sticks over that side. Either that or it's just got crap in it. Right, and you can actually adjust these meters. Not with that tool you can't, but see if I can find something I can adjust it with. I need something very thin. But you can adjust them. You can adjust them. Just by turning that in the centre. What I'm going to do, I'm going to spray some contact cleaner in. And see if that helps the meter movement any. See, it sticks there and it falls right back to the stop there, and it shouldn't fall right back. That one there doesn't. So what I'm going to do, is just mop a bit of this switch clean up. I think I overdid it, you know. I mean, I've probably got another one of these meters somewhere I can put in if I have to, but it's not sticking now anyway, not as bad. So let's just turn this machine on. Let's pop the cassette into it. Make sure we've got nothing under there. No metal. Oh, we're okay. Let's let the tape, let's fast forward that on a bit. Alright, so that one's going, but this one isn't, so it is now. I think the spring might be gone in it, you know, because let's try that. Doesn't help that the meter's catching on the it's not catching now. It's moving. It's fell down where it needs to do. That's right. But I think I'll lose connection on there, is it? No, I don't think it is. No. It's definitely sticky. It's working now. I've managed to move that a little bit. But it's still sticky. Try that. Well, now the meter's moving, it's starting on its own now. No, it ain't. Whoops. I think I've moved that a bit too far. Because that's going way higher than what the other one is. So let's bring that back. There we go. It's about right. But it doesn't start. It seems to be. Pull this up because it is a bit bent. I mean, I have to look for another meter. I think the meter might be fucked. Yeah, it's catching. There's something in there catching. Let's try a drop of oil. See, I don't want to take the meter movement apart because I know damn well it won't go back together. Oops. Let's try that. See, it sticks. Let's move a bit over that way. Just the needle tends to stick. I mean, it's probably going to have to be replaced anyway, but it could even be a bad winding. See, that's working there. If I move that onto there, that to there, it's working now. It's that has to be there. Well, there. Ow. Just straighten the needle. I've bent it a bit. I think to be honest it's going to need to be replaced. Well, that's too tight. Let's bring that out. If I can. There we are. That's out, so I'll stop that. Doesn't go all the way back. I think the spring's fucked in it, to be honest, folks. And it sticks over that side. So let's move it all the way over. Move that all the way back there. Oh, that's better. That's pulling all the way back now. But the problem is, it's not moving up and down like you want it to. So, I'm going to move that there. Let's move that back. So roughly there, because it's actually, it should actually be, set it to that or according to that other one. There we go. It's working now, but it's not working properly. So I'll move that all the way to there. Put that to where it should, where it originally was. Now if I slacken this off a bit more in the middle, that's it. Set that to there. Nope. Stop that. Falls back down now, near enough. Right. Get this sorted straight. There we are. Try that. I think there's a problem with the spring, to be honest. That's nice and balanced, it's not tight or anything. In fact, that's actually going right over into the red. The other one ain't. Let's bring this down. Stop that. Bring this down to where it should be. Try that. No, it just won't. I mean, that's no, that looks okay. Let's stop that. No, it just won't start again. I'm going to have to look at replacing the meter. It could be the meter movement as fucked. But saying that, there's some fucking crap on there. Let's tighten this up a little bit. There's too much play in that, I know that for a fact. That's it. That's the right amount of play we need. There's no play in that now. And it's nice and smooth. So, but when I tapped this earlier, it decided to work. So I'm wondering, so what I'm going to do, let's turn that off. What I'm going to do, I'm going to have a brew now, folks. I'm going to have a look in my stuff, see if I've got another one of these meters. If I haven't, I know it records and it plays. So I just have to go off the, well, they've gone a bit thing because they'll be alright once they, that's better. But I'd just have to go off setting them to the levels I want them at if I can't find another meter. So basically I'm just going to leave that as it is. Be alright. And just need to clean the buttons. But the rest of the machine's done. I'm not going to mess about changing that diode on the bottom. I'm not going to mess about with that. Taking all that out to just change that diode. The one on the other side is out the way, it's safe. So, you know, besides if it's a common fault and it fails again, I can just change it. Like I say, if I ever sell the cassette deck, I'll just whip the bottom off and quickly do it. But, you know, as I'm keeping this cassette deck for my own use, that's fine. And it is fixed safely. There's no issues with it or anything. It's not like I'm going to sell it to somebody and they're going to, you know, they're going to use it and it's going to do some harm or blow something up or blow them up. It's never going to do that. With just one diode that failed, it just shows you, doesn't it? And that diode operates the that one diode operates the auto stop. And how it knows it's stopped, I don't know. Oh yeah, I do. There's a reed switch under the take cap behind the take counter, and a magnet. A sort of set like one of those round sort of magnet things where it's magnetic, like a magnetic disc wheel, where it's magnetized on one side but not on the other, sort of like a semi-magnet if you like. So it keeps turning the reed switch on and off. I mean, you can defeat the auto stop by just joining the wires for the reed switch together, but why do that? You know, you may as well have the circuit working as the manufacturer's intended it should. I've got a couple of screws to put in the bottom to secure the, it's unplugged anyway, to secure the circuit board in place, the power supply board. It's actually quite well made, this, folks. I mean, you've got your board here for dealing with your record and stuff, and you've got your power supply here, just lift that because I've squashed that diode down. It's not touching anywhere, but yeah. There we go. Once it's back, I just want to touch up a couple of joints here as well. Once it's back in the case, you know, you've got that depth, will be all right. Once it's back in, but I might shorten the wires anyway. Yeah, I will. Let's pull it back out. We'll make the wires a bit shorter. There we go. Make the lead outs a bit shorter for it. I'm not pulling all this off just to change that. That ain't happening because it's a diode, it won't harm it being on the back. The cassette deck will still work every bit as good. So let's get this. Make sure we're the right way around. There we go. Let's get this other side. And see if I can, I'm going to have to use these clippers to just move it into place. There we are. That will do the job just nicely. And the old diode can just sit there and float and it won't do any harm. There we are. Now I just want to touch up a couple of wires up here. My motor's popped off, let's solder it back on. There we are, this one here. That's it. There we go. So we've now got everything there that we need, it's all working as it should, as the manufacturer intended. So what we'll do next, we can start to put our screws back in. Right. Now, the other thing about this is it fucking doesn't like not being grounded. The power supply in this, it's a metal screw that goes in there, not wooden. Not coarse thread, sorry. It's one of these ones that go in there because it's a metal post. I keep saying I'm going for this cup of coffee, but I've not got there for it yet, but I will in a minute. Now these ones are close thread. There's only one, and actually it went in the bottom, so let's take that back out because I don't know what the fuck you might screw through. I don't think anything, but the manufacturer put it in the bottom, so that's where we'll put it. Now there's nothing in its way, but I thought that was a bit sticky going in. It goes in this one. There we are. That's not right either. There. that's in. Now that's all our inside screws in. All we've got left now, and we're actually a few screws short to be perfectly honest. Oh no, there's a few behind here. No, we've got them. They're here. They're here. They all should be on here because I'm not taking them off the table, off the bench. So all the screws for the entire machine should still be here somewhere. Right, just make sure. We've got another one here. We need 4 for the bottom. Yeah, 4 for the bottom. Let's start by putting our top back on, because we're finished under there, we're finished on the top. Let's try and get our top on. I might need to replace, well that comes undone now, but that's no problem. The top will hold that down. Really I should put a bit of tape on, but I haven't got any, so. And I will actually replace the meter at some point, so we need 6 screws that go into here. And before I put the top on, I need to clean the buttons, don't I? Or can I clean them? No, I think I can clean them with it together actually. Because to be perfectly honest, I want this thing back together, because make sure that we're dry in there, because it was all wet, you know. Yeah, we are now. Right. So what we'll do, yeah, we had 2 screws in the middle, a screw there and a screw there, and there for the outer casing for the bottom. Yeah, that's how it was done. Yeah. Well, let's just clean this in. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, folks. I'll leave it off because I'll tell you what, I'm going to wash the damn thing. It's a bit of a mess. I'm going to give this a good clean. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there, folks, because, you know, I want something to eat as well. You all take it easy, and I'll catch you in a bit when this is all together. I'll probably do a video showing how it goes together, because I didn't do one taking it apart, so yeah. Catch you in a bit. Hi folks, and we're back, and we're putting, or rather I am, putting the tape recorder back together. This is the Akai cassette deck I got last week. Got on Sunday for £3. Well, that's not right. That's not right at all. So let's have a look. That's going in wrong. It's the right screw. It's the right screw for that hole. So why won't it go in? I often ask myself the same question. There we are. Yeah, that's good. I think the thread's a bit crap on the end. There we go. That's that one. Turn it round. One to go in the centre. Get them all in and tighten them down. And there's my diode I replaced. I mean, there's no point in, like I said, there's no point in pulling all that power supply out of there, making your life misery, just to change the fucking diode. And I just, oops, nip them all up. We want them just above snug. The meters are going to flop around a bit because the foams are gone and I couldn't find any, so the front's all been cleaned though. Right, and there's another screw that has to go in here. Sure, there's one at the front. Yep, there's one more that goes in the front, and here he is. And my screwdriver's now wet because I've got a wet sponge there I used to clean the buttons. Yeah, so there we are. Move all this out of the way. The oil. There. Right. Put that on in a minute. Bring. Right, this can go on either that way or that way. And I'm going to say there's nothing written on it. Oh yeah, there is. It goes that way because it's got Akai written on and it's upside down. Yep. So we'll pop the base on. Putting the base on this, it can be a bit of a challenge. Well, at least that's what I found. So we don't want to damage the base. Or the wood surround rather. There we are. Alright. That's in. This is a bit curled up because the machine did get wet. Well, unfortunately there's nothing really I can do about that. I'm hoping when I screw it down it should sort it out somewhat. And there's the two controls for the top. We're out of screws, so given that we're out of screws, we shouldn't be, we should have a screw for each part, but unfortunately that's the wrong way around. Goes that way. It. I mean that's curled up, but the problem is when I put the screws in it should flatten it back out again. It got wet. Really I should have left it till it dried, but I didn't. Right. Right, so tighten that fully down. There we are. Now let's see if the rest of my screws for this are on here. They should be. Should all be on here, but saying that, that's not one of them. Well, it could be actually, but I think it is. Right, let's see See if they've gone under this radio. No, they haven't. Are they on this side? Ah, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. They're not them. No, ain't them. Although that one would fit. So that one would fit. But they had washers on them as well, so I don't understand where they've gone. They had washers on them and all. I think they did. Right, so let's try and figure this out. The mystery of the missing screws. You probably ended up on the fucking floor, knowing my luck. I mean, it's not a great issue because I've got tons of fucking screws like that, and it probably ends up in this fucking box here now. Because I'm not to load of the hill, hang on. Here we are. Right. Because they had like built-in washers on them. And I've just saved myself a load of pain and misery, folks, because I found a drawing pin on the floor. Right, the screws should be that kind, that have a little sort of built-in washer on them. They're the kind it should have. Oops. So we'll try and find some of those. I mean, it doesn't matter if we can't, it's not a great thing, not a great issue. I mean, there's one there, but that's miles too fucking big. But we don't want them too fucking long, but I'll probably scrape them up and throw them back in here. But we want all the same type if we can find them. There's another one. Get that in before it gets fucking lost. We do want all the same type if we can manage it. It'd look better. See, that bottom will screw on. That's alright. Let's find another two. Go in the back. And I don't throw screws away. I thought that was one, but it's not. It could be. No, that ain't. I don't never throw screws away. There's another one. So I mean, I'll probably scrape the fuckers up off the floor and lob them in here. Yeah. I mean, that's one, but it's too fucking long. I can't. Oh no, it's not. wouldn't be able to put that in anyway if it was the right type because it's too fucking long. Get that out just in case because it's got a fairly big head on it. Only one I need. Well, if I put one in the middle too. So look down in this corner here. Is that one? No, it's just one. Fuck it, I've had enough looking through that lot. Can't be fucking that at all. No. That one will do, it's got a nice wide head on it. Might be too fucking wide actually, that's true. Yeah, never mind. This one will do. Right. Turned it the right way up. That's a bit thingy, but that's okay. Right, let's give these pots potentiometer tops a clean. Still got fucking crap on them, we can't get in with that. That'll do. And this one. Good enough. Because they're a bit stiff. Jesus. It's because I sprayed them with that service, will be alright in a fucking. Be alright in a day or so. I've had that before. Where they've got a bit stiff. Right. Well, we want to slide our front back on. It. Plug it in. Well, tape back in. Fast forward. Rewind. Play. Yeah, that meter's had it. Doesn't matter. Now let's put it on the signal tracer. Just see how it sounds. Move that sponge because it's wet. Now, we don't need to worry about the earth as we found out before.
Won't you forgive? 'Cause I'm telling you the truth.
Turn the Dolby off because I don't have it on. Not unless it's a Dolby tape.
Just singing, sparrow in the treetop, sparrow in the treetop. Only loves his mate.
Both channels.
Sparrow in the treetop, sparrow in the treetop. Scared of going home because it's too dark. Just singing, sparrow in the treetop, sparrow in the treetop.
There we go. Leave that on because I'm going to have a look at the Decca one in a minute. Right, so basically, let's rewind that tape. So basically that's the Akai CS 33D from from the 70s. I haven't replaced the bulbs because I haven't got any. I'm going to have to be at the end of the tape. And there goes the auto stop. And that's it. I am as happy. Let's rewind this because I want to listen to the A side of it. I am as happy as a pig in the proverbial. That feels a bit loose, but there again they always are a bit baggy. There we go. I mean it's a bit swollen up as well because of the fact it got a bit damp, otherwise it wouldn't be baggy, but there's nothing I can do about that. But well, that brings us to the end of this video, folks, and thank you as always very much for watching, and join me for the next one, which will be the Decca. Can't remember what model it is, but we're going to take a look at the Decca one in a minute and give that one a service. Not that it needs much of a service, it probably only needs an head clean and stuff, because I switched it on yesterday and it all worked. I mean, that's rewind on that's now is not bad. Based on the fact that when I got it, it didn't rewind. And is that straight? Yeah. So that's this is one I'm going to keep. There we go, auto stop works. So this is what I'm going to keep, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the Decca. We'll see. Anyway, join me in a few minutes, folks. It'll be a few minutes, for a couple of seconds for you and a bit longer for me. Be back in a minute.